Here's something strange. You go to sleep feeling completely fine. You don't lift anything, you don't fall, you don't do a single thing wrong. And then you wake up, and your lower back has locked up like a rusty door. For the first few minutes, you're shuffling around the bedroom like you aged 40 years overnight. Then, an hour later, it's mostly gone, as if nothing ever happened. If that's your morning, you've probably asked yourself the obvious question: what did I do? The surprising answer is nothing. You didn't hurt your back in your sleep. Your back did something completely normal overnight, and almost nobody bothers to explain what it is. So let me show you. Because once you understand it, those stiff mornings stop being scary, and you'll know exactly what to do about them. One quick, honest note first. This is here to explain and to help, not to diagnose you. I'm going to walk through the everyday kind of morning stiffness, the kind that loosens up once you get moving, plus the simple things that tend to help at home. I can't see your back, so I can't tell you what's happening in yours specifically. The good news is that most morning stiffness is harmless, but a few kinds are worth showing a doctor, and I'll be clear about those near the end. If your pain is severe, if it doesn't ease as the morning goes on, if it wakes you in the night, or if it comes with numbness, weakness, fever, or any loss of bladder or bowel control, please don't wait for the rest of this video. See a doctor. Part 1. Your spine soaked up water overnight. Let's start with what actually happened while you slept. And I promise to keep it simple. Between the bones of your spine sit little cushions called discs. Picture each one as a small, springy sponge. All day long, while you stand and sit and walk around, gravity quietly presses down on those sponges and squeezes a little water out of them. That's actually why you're a touch shorter at night than in the morning, by a centimeter or two every single day. Then you lie down to sleep. The pressure comes off, and those little sponges do exactly what a sponge does when you stop squeezing it. They soak the water back up. By morning, they're full again, plump, a little puffy. And here's the part that matters. A puffy, filled-up spine is a stiffer spine. It's tighter, it doesn't want to bend as easily, and it protests the very first time you ask it to move. So when you wake up feeling like your lower back is made of concrete, that isn't damage. It's just a spine that topped itself back up with water overnight and hasn't drained down yet. Give it an hour of being upright and it settles, which is exactly why the stiffness quietly fades as the morning goes on. Part 2, a still back goes cold. There's a second thing going on, and it's even simpler. Your back does not like sitting still. All the muscles and soft tissue wrapped around your spine stay loose and comfortable when they're moving. Motion keeps them warm and slippery. But you just spent 7 or 8 hours barely moving at all. And when soft tissue goes still for that long, it kind of sets. Think of honey left in the fridge overnight versus honey sitting out on the counter. One is cold and thick and slow. The other is warm and runny. Your back first thing in the morning is the cold, thick version. It hasn't moved, so it feels stiff and reluctant, like a hinge that hasn't been opened in a while. Then you get up, you start moving, and within a few minutes, everything warms back up and starts flowing again. That warming up is the loosening you feel. And this is the most reassuring clue in the whole video. Real damage does not warm up and feel better after 10 minutes of pottering around the kitchen. A stiff, cold morning back does. So if yours eases off once you're moving, take that easing as a genuinely good sign. Part 3, why it catches when you first bend. So now you know your morning back is puffy and cold. Here's where it gets practical. Think about the very first thing you actually do with it. You swing your legs out of bed and bend forward to stand up. You lean over the sink to brush your teeth. You reach down for a sock or for whatever you just dropped. In other words, the first real move you make each day is to bend forward. And bending forward is the single hardest thing you can ask a stiff, water-filled spine to do. It's a lot like a cold rubber band. Bend it too far, too fast, first thing, and it complains. That sharp catch or seize some people feel climbing out of bed usually isn't a brand new injury at all. It's a puffy, unwarmed up back being asked to do its most demanding movement before it's remotely ready. And that single insight points straight at the good news. Because if the problem is just a cold back doing a hard job too soon, then the fix is simply to warm it up first. So let's talk about how. Part 4, what you can do at home. Here's the practical part, and honestly, none of it is complicated. The whole game in the morning is this. Wake your back up gently before you ask a lot of it. Start before you even stand. Take 20 or 30 seconds still lying in bed to move a little. Slowly bring your knees up toward your chest. Gently rock side to side. Just let your back know the day is starting. Then get up in stages instead of one big lurch. Roll onto your side, push yourself up with your arms, and let your legs swing down so you're not folding straight through your lower back to sit up. Once you're on your feet, give it a minute of easy movement, a slow walk to the kitchen, a gentle sway before you go leaning over any sinks. Warmth is your friend here. A warm shower will loosen a stiff morning back far faster than gritting your teeth and pushing through. And a lot of people find the shower is exactly where the stiffness finally lets go. You don't need to force any deep stretches or do anything heroic. Gentle and comfortable beats, aggressive every time. And here's the big one, the part that surprises people most. The worst thing you can do with a stiff back is freeze up and protect it all day. Staying rigid actually keeps it cold and stiff. Gentle, regular movement is what warms it up and calms it down. So keep moving in easy, comfortable ways through the day. Don't sit frozen in one position for hours and let motion do the work. Move gently, keep it warm, and keep going. For an ordinary stiff morning, that's most of the battle right there. Part 5. When it's more than a stiff morning. Now the important part, because not every stiff morning is the ordinary kind. Most are, but a few patterns are genuinely worth taking to a doctor, and these are the ones clinicians pay close attention to. The first is how long it lasts. Ordinary stiffness eases within roughly half an hour of getting moving. Stiffness that hangs around for most of the morning, no matter how much you move, is a different story. The second is a kind of reversal. Normal stiffness feels better with rest. So if your back actually feels worse after resting and only feels better when you stay active, that's something a doctor genuinely wants to hear about. The third is your nights. Pain that keeps waking you in the small hours, night after night, is worth mentioning too. None of these automatically means something serious. They're simply patterns that deserve a proper look instead of a guess. And then there are the clear alarms, the ones that mean don't wait at all. Numbness or weakness spreading down your legs, a fever alongside the back pain, or any loss of control over your bladder or bowels. Those are not watch and see. Those are see someone today. So if you take just one thing from all of this, let it be a simple morning routine you can start tomorrow. Move a little before you get up. Rise in stages instead of folding straight out of bed. Warm up with a minute of easy movement or a warm shower before you bend for anything. And then keep moving gently through the day instead of bracing and freezing. That's the whole thing. You're not repairing something broken, you're just giving a puffy, cold spine a fair chance to wake up before you ask it to work. For most people, on most mornings, that one small shift changes everything. Here's the reframe I want to leave you with. That locked up morning back usually isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a spine that quietly filled with water overnight, went cold and still while you slept, and then got asked to bend before it was ready. Understand that, and the fear just drains out of it. Move gently, warm it up, keep going, and stay alert if your mornings ever start telling that other, longer, night-waking story. Because that's the one worth the doctor's time. I'm Dr. Sticks. Look after the body you live in. It's the only one you get.